Hi, everybody. Claudia from Fluffy Cow Coffee here. As you know, because we do it weekly, I am here today with our fundraising partner of the week because that's what we do at Fluffy Cow. We support farm animal sanctuaries via our online fundraisers that are every week. They're week long, and we donate $2.50 for every item sold online, every item. So this week we are partnering with the fantastic Freedom Run Farm Sanctuary with the lovely Ren. Hi, Ren. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, Ren, you're going to have to remind me because I do this every week. Tell me about Freedom Run. I know you're all about birds and Dexter.
Dexter, yes, the star of the show. So we've actually we have 4 species of animals now at Freedom Run. So we did start with chickens in 2020, and then we have expanded to sheep, pigs, and barn cats as well. So we rescue feral barn cats in need of that are at risk for euthanasia. So
that's awesome. Okay, sheep, pigs, roosters.
Yes.
Barn cats.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the bird species first. Because I know that's how you started, because that's where your heart lies, is with the birds, even though I know you love all animals. Don't get me wrong. I know that. So tell us a little bit about the history of Freedom Run. I know you started in 2020. How did you start? Where are you located? That kind of thing.
So we're in Franklin Grove, Illinois, which is just northwest Illinois. And when we started off, we had plans for a sanctuary, and a rooster was dropped off at our house. Rex, our very first rooster, he's still with us. And that's kind of how it all began. Rex was very lonely. He kept peeking in our windows and stuff. He's a great rooster. He wasn't particularly a fan of his humans at that time, and he still prefers his space. So we rescued hens as well to kind of give him some company because they're social animals. And he's been doing great ever since. And we've been expanding from there. We have 3 roosters now. We have a total of 11 chickens, and they're all doing great. We did lose, we've lost several, but we lost one this year as well.
Sorry.
Yeah. Everyone else is doing great, though. They're adapting well with every loss, and we hope to rescue more in the future. We are full at the moment, but
okay. So I want to talk about how long do roosters live?
It really depends on their environment, but 10 to 15 years.
Okay. And how about hens? Similar?
Similar. It also depends on the breed too. So we have a rooster. His name is Summer, and he's a Cornish cross. And his breed in the agriculture industry is meant to live for 6 months and be used for consumption. So since they're bred so heavily to grow so quickly, and their legs can't handle it. Their body can't take that growth, and most pass within a couple years. And we've had Summer. It'll be his 3rd year in April, so we're super happy to have him, and he's doing awesome. He's had some medical issues, but he's a strong, loving guy, and we love him every day we have him. So
that's awesome. How many pigs do you have besides Dexter? In addition to Dexter?
Yes. So there's Dexter, Hope, Dottie, and Duncan.
Awesome. And what's the pig lifespan as well?
Typically 10 years-ish, give or take, also depending on breed, environment, their past medical trauma.
Sure.
We've rescued everyone really young, actually. So Dexter and Hope were truck jumpers. They came in at Hope was probably a month old, less than, and Dexter was probably a month and a half old. Duncan was 6 months, and Dottie was 2 years. So
and where did let's go back a smidge and just educate people who might be watching, who, like me, didn't know. I mean, you taught me something in March when we first spoke about jumpers.
Oh yeah, so truck jumpers is a term a lot of sanctuaries use. These piglets are literally on a transport truck heading to either slaughter or a growth barn, where they'll spend 6 months and be killed for consumption.
And then, so is the idea that do you believe that they know on some level what's about to happen?
I do. They're such intelligent beings. They're, I believe every animal can sense when something bad's about to happen.
And also, chances are their experience in the truck is terrible. So
Absolutely.
they're just so even if they can't anticipate what's about to happen, they know they're currently in an awful situation that they want to get out of.
Absolutely. Yep. And they're most of the time they're with their family. Some are born in transport
Oh
too.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. So where now, so the other two pigs, and then we'll go back to the birds. The pigs, the other two pigs. Now, where did they come from?
So Duncan was our first pig rescue. So we've had him. It was a year in February, and he was an owner surrender with his 3 sheep friends at the time. We still have them. And Dottie was she was an owner surrender. Her people were trying to find a good place for her to land, and unfortunately turned into a neglect case with her second home. And then Chicagoland Pig Rescue was working with them, and we jumped in. Since we're a micro sanctuary, she was actually used to living in a house. She lived in a house for 2 years. So, and us being, very small, and we can give everyone that personalized attention. I mean, every sanctuary can, but we figured this is a good place for her to land, and she's been super happy here.
Isn't that great? Now, you also have sheep.
Yes.
And they came with the pigs?
So they came with Duncan. They were one kind of big family. So the 3 originals, we call them, were Teddy, Sage, and Mellow. Sage and Mellow are the 2 females, and they were both pregnant. We didn't know both of them were. We knew one was. We knew Sage was pregnant. And then 2 months later, we had 4 baby lambs.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So and sheep are pregnant for about, I believe, 5 months. So we knew Sage was pretty far along. We could see her, her belly was swollen and everything. Sage is our tall and lanky girl, so we couldn't really tell. And then Teddy is, we believe, the father of all 4 of them.
I see. So here's something new, Ren. We at Fluffy Cow now sell swag of different species.
Yes, I saw that. That's exciting.
So, and I think all your species are represented except for your barn cats.
Amazing.
So we have sheep, I think. Beth was going to tell me if I'm wrong. But anyway, we definitely have chickens, and we definitely have pigs. And if we don't have sheep, we'll get sheep, I promise.
Okay, good.
So tell me what's gone on. Yeah, Beth just texted, no sheep yet, coming soon. So tell me what's gone on in your sanctuary since we last chatted in March. And I think one of the things is that you've gotten new residents.
We have not actually gotten any new residents. We did lose. We lost 2 since I spoke with you last. So we lost Raven, our chicken, and we lost Zelda, one of our dogs.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's we do lose someone every year, and it doesn't get easier. But since March, besides that, we started to do more of an educational stance on things. Well, we always wanted to, and we kind of opened that up more this year. So we did have a couple homeschool groups out, and we haven't fully announced a program for that yet. So we kind of tested the waters, and it went really well. So I'm really excited to open that up more next year and have a solid schedule for it.
Yeah.
And next year, we're also planning to have a college group out too. So we're kind of covering all the age groups there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, are the roosters, are they, and the hens, are they comfortable with people coming around and touching them?
We don't force interaction. So any of our animals, so the sheep particularly, are not fond of people, except Sage. She'll come up and she's very loving and inquisitive. Our chickens, we have one rooster, Captain, who loves people. He's kind of my what's the word for it?
Social butterfly?
A little bit, yeah. And he came from a shelter, but given his characteristics, and his he has some issues, not issues, but his comb was cut, which is a sign of chicken fighting, rooster fighting.
Oh.
So we believe he came from a situation like that. Unfortunately, he loves people. He's not a fan of other roosters, for obvious reasons, but he loves people. So he's kind of my um, advocate on roosters being sweet.
Oh, that's great. Now, you said you're at capacity.
Mhm.
So the plan for 24, is it more education?
Yes, for the time being, we're looking into different infrastructure options for our property. We don't have a lot of space to work with. We're on 5 acres, but we also we cut our own hay for feed for the animals in the winter, so we can't quite take up some of the property. So we're evaluating what we're using and trying to plan for the next steps in the best way we can.
Awesome. And how's Dexter doing?
He's doing great. Still the love bug.
And,
He loves everyone. That boy is just amazing.
and how big is Dexter now?
Ah, he's probably about 300 or 400 pounds. Just pure sweetness. He
Yeah.
knocked me over the other day. It was totally innocent. He was walking behind me and just kind of bumped into me, but he doesn't know how big he is.
Sure.
He still cuddles. I'll sit down next to him. He'll put his head in my lap and just start sleeping.
That's great. That's awesome. All right. Now, Ren, tell me about what your financial needs are right now and what kind of impact, $200 to $400 could have on you.
So we recently decided to start any large donations we get. We're trying to get a big school fund essentially for medical emergencies. We've never had anything like that before, and it could be really scary if someone needed to go to university for vet care or anything like that. So we're trying to plan ahead for that, and just start kind of squirreling away at just saving for medical emergencies. With that, as other things come up, we still need donations for regular care and operation. But the big chunks we're going to put away.
That's great. It would be so awesome to be able to not stress and freak over a medical emergency because it's going to happen. Farm animals, like people, need consistent quality medical care to stay healthy. And when a disaster strikes, it can wipe you out.
Absolutely.
Like it can with humans. So I've never actually heard of, I love the idea that you're squirreling away for this inevitability so it doesn't knock you off your feet, which I think is great. So now, towards that end, let's talk about the fundraiser. Now, we know, so for your fan base, if they don't remember, the fundraiser is a week long and it started on Monday morning and it ends Sunday at midnight. So we're a little more than halfway through, but there's 3.5 more days to spread the word and get your fans to go on fluffycowcoffee.com, buy the really good coffee. If you drink coffee, it's really good. I'm talking like 5-star good. It's really good coffee. Dark, medium, light, whatever you want. And we have wonderful mugs and we have swag and we have t-shirts and we have hats if you don't drink coffee. So we want to get the word out between now and Sunday and get people to buy so I can write you a big old check or Venmo you on Monday morning.
That'd be amazing. We could really use it because, like you said, the stress of the inevitable has, this year especially has really made us think about it because we've always been able to cover it just by us personally. We're a micro sanctuary. We don't get a lot of donations, but it's come to a point where we need to really prepare for the future. All of our residents have access to vet care. They always will.
But and the other thing is you also carry your sanctuary has a species in it that has been of the past few years subject to the avian flu.
Absolutely.
And that is a really scary threat hanging over your heads.
Thankfully, there have been no cases around us, but we've been monitoring. We're not under any major flyways, but we've been keeping up with it just in case. And it's absolutely devastating, and it's really stressful and scary. And I always feel for everyone who's right in there and dealing with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's devastating. It's so upsetting when it hits. It's very upsetting. But we want to prevent that. We want to keep your animals healthy. We want to squirrel away some money for their health care. And we want to get the word out for the next 3.5 days for everyone to buy great coffee for a great, great, great cause. Your fabulous sanctuary.
Thank you.
So Freedom Run, people. It's time to donate to Freedom Run via great coffee.
Yes, you do have amazing coffee. It keeps me.
Thank you. I agree. I drink it every day. By the way, my other brand is Hugo Coffee. It's the same coffee in a different brand that supports dog and cat rescue.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it was the original brand, by the way. And Hugo was my dog. And we just opened in the Salt Lake City airport. So we're getting the word out.
That's awesome. Yes. Good for you guys. That's amazing.
We'll have to get a fluffy cow sometime too. So we can spread the word about farm animal sanctuaries and all the amazing work you guys do. Yeah. All right, then. But you have a fantastic weekend. Fingers crossed. Let's buy, sell, sell, sell.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. It's what we live for.